各位记者朋友，大家下午好。
Good afternoon. Welcome to our press conference. Questions, please. CCTV, we noted yesterday a member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Foreign Minister Wang Yi attended the high-level segment of the 58th session of the UN Human Rights Council and delivered a remark. Do you have any more information to share? The 58th session of the UN Human Rights Council is being held. Yesterday, Foreign Minister Wang Yi had sent a video message for the high-level segment of the UN Human Rights Council. He shared China's 3 propositions in keeping to the right approach to human rights and pushing for the reform and improvement of global human rights governance. First, we should stay committed to the original aspiration and founding mission and clarify the true essence of human rights cause. We need to uphold a people-centered approach, make people's interest and fundamental starting point and ultimate goal. We must say no to any words and deeds that use human rights as an excuse to interfere in international affairs of other countries, in disregard of national sovereignty and security and the safety of people's lives. Second, we should uphold fairness and justice and clarify the goal of the human rights cause. The right to subsistence and development should be taken as the fundamental human rights of primary importance. We need to take a balanced approach to individual and collective rights, ensure all types of rights complement and reinforce each other, and must say no to any words and deeds that apply double or even multiple standards on human rights issues. Third, we should stay committed to engagement and mutual learning and clarify the path to promoting human rights. We need to conduct constructive dialogue and cooperation on the basis of equality and mutual respect to effectively increase the representation and voice of Global South countries, and must say no to any words and deeds that impose one's own model or will upon others, that politicize, instrumentalize, or weaponize human rights. Prime Minister Wang stressed that China, caring deeply for the future of humanity and the well-being of all countries, will be a practitioner of international cooperation, promoter of mutual learning among civilizations, and a builder of a community with a shared future for mankind. We will be more proactive in international human rights cooperation, and together with all parties work to usher in a better future for the global cause of human rights. When global human rights governance faces severe challenges, it's widely hoped by all countries that their path to human rights protection will be respected, the cause of human rights protection will make greater progress, and the people will enjoy more, better, and fuller human rights. The last thing everyone wants is to turn Human Rights Council into a place of pressuring and confrontation. We stand ready to work with the parties to focus on the real problems and challenges facing international human rights cause, foster greater synergy, strengthen solidarity and coordination, and promote the building of a just, equitable, and inclusive global human rights governance system. Yesterday, Canada announced sanctions targeting 76 individuals and entities providing dual-use articles for Russia, including more than 20 Chinese ones. Do you have any comment? We firmly oppose unilateral sanctions that has no basis in international law or authorization of UN Security Council. Canada's sanctions against Chinese entities make no sense and are extremely preposterous. We firmly oppose it and have made serious protests with Canada. Let me stress that China has always upheld a just and objective position on the Ukraine crisis and worked for its political settlement. We have never provided any lethal weapons to any party to the conflict, and we exercise strict export control over dual-use articles and Our scope and measures concerning the export control of drones are the most stringent worldwide. Like any other countries, China carries out normal economic and trade cooperation with Russia on the basis of equality and mutual benefit. This is justified and beyond reproach. We urge Canada to immediately lift its wrongful decision. We will take necessary measures to safeguard Chinese companies' lawful rights and interests. Next one, please.
Thank you. Question from Brianna.
俄新社关于制裁的问题，欧盟对北京和德宇航技术有限公司实施制裁，理由是该公司涉嫌通过提供地形数据和卫星服务来支持俄罗斯武装部队总参谋部。中方对此有何评论？ I shared our position on the Canada's sanctions on China and also on China's position on the Ukraine crisis. Let me stress that China opposes unilateral sanctions without this is consistent. China-Russia normal business cooperation should not be disrupted or affected by third party. We have lodged serious protests to the EU. We urge the EU to stop smearing China or shirking the responsibility to China while finding no factual grounds and stop undermining the lawful rights and interests of Chinese companies. Next question, please.
Anyone else?
Donald.
彭博社，特朗普政府正在草拟更严厉的美国半导体限制措施，并向主要盟友施压，要求他们加大对中国芯片产业的限制。根据知情人士透露，特朗普计划扩大拜登任内开始的限制中国科技实力的努力。外交部对最新的关于特朗普政府草拟更严厉的措施的报道有何评论？ China has made clear its serious position more than once on the U.S. malicious blocking and suppression of China's semiconductor industry. The U.S. has politicized the trade and tech issues, overstretched the concepts of security, and used them as tools, stepping up cheap export controls against China and coercing other countries into going after China's semiconductor industry. Such moves hinder the development of the global semiconductor industry and will backfire. Next one, please.
Thank you. A question from AFP.
法新社，普京昨天表示，他愿意讨论特朗普政府关于削减国防支出的提议，而且中方可以加入。中方是否支持这一提议？普京和习主席昨晚在通话中有没有谈及这一议题？
关于习近平主席同普京。
Regarding the phone call between President Xi and President Putin, we released a readout and you may refer to it. You mentioned the military spending issue. let me say that in recent years, the global military spending has kept increasing. According to data, the total global military spending last year is $2.43 trillion, hitting a historical high. And the continuous increasing of military spending is fueled by the tensions in international and regional security situation, which underlines the increasing concern for security deficit, and we are facing the common challenge in global security governance. Major countries should take a lead in playing a stabilizing role for global solidarity and peace. China is committed to peaceful development, and our limited defense budget is totally for the need of sovereignty, security, development interests, and safeguarding world peace. We remain committed to a defense policy that is defensive in nature, and we take a balanced approach for economic development and defense development. We do not engage in any arms race with any country, and we have always injected stability and certainty into the world and upholding world peace. Next one, please.
Thank you. Question from Reuters.
路透社，台湾海警表示，已扣押中国的一艘渔船，因为台湾的通信电缆被切断。中方是否涉及该事件？中方对此有何评论？
我不了解你提到。
I'm not familiar with what you mentioned. It is not a question related to China's diplomacy.
下一个问题。
Next one, please. Anyone else? That's all for today. Thank you for coming.